This is Sangamon County Circuit Clerk Paul Palazzolo, and this video was produced to assist you in the filing of an emergency order of protection. The emergency order of protection is a way to request a court order against an individual to prohibit contact with you, your children, either at home or at work. This petition can be filled out and must be filed with the Circuit Clerk's office electronically. You can accomplish this either from your home computer or from one of our kiosks located in room 405 of the Sangamon County building on the corner of 9th and Adams Streets. Orders of protection can be filed on behalf of children or a disabled adult. Sojourn shelter advocates are available at the courthouse on the 5th floor outside of courtroom 5B, Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 4:30 to personally assist you. Now, I hope you'll please listen carefully and follow the directions to ensure that the courts are clearly aware of what you are asking them to grant in that order of protection. During this video, you may pause it to fill out what you need to fill out and then return to the video to continue the instructions. Now, to guide you with filling in your information will be Sojourn Shelter Advocate Kayla Williams.
Hi, my name is Kayla and I'm a legal advocate with Sojourn Shelter and Services. Today we'll go over a little bit about how to file an emergency order of protection on your own and exactly what's necessary for the petition. If you are filing for an emergency order of protection, you need to make sure the petition is completed entirely. Please follow these directions to ensure your petition is complete. Any incomplete petitions will be rejected for filing by the Circuit Clerk's electronic filing system. So on the beginning of the first page, you are the petitioner and your name will go where it says petitioner's name. And below you will mark that you are filing on behalf of yourself, and then you'll fill in the respondent's information as well. When you go down, you'll put in the name of the respondent next to the line that says, I request an order of protection against. Always check the first box indicating that you're requesting an emergency order of protection, and only check the second box if you have notified the respondent that you plan on filing an emergency order of protection against them. Underneath petitioner information on that line, please list your address. If you do not want your address to be included on the petition so that your abuser doesn't know where you live, please mark the box that's checked the above address as an alternative address for service of notice. Continue to scroll all the way down to the bottom of the sheet and fill in the rest of the respondent information. You'll fill in date of birth by two-digit month, 2-digit day, and 4-digit year, along with sex, last 4 of the Social Security number if you know it, their race, weight, height, hair color, eye color, and any information that can lead to their service, whether it be a home address or a work address. So next to relationship code, you'll mark how you know the person that you're filing against. If you do not see your relationship listed in this box, this means that you cannot file for an emergency order of protection and you will have to file a different petition. Below, background information. If you have ever filed for an order of protection before, please list the name of the petitioner and the name of the respondent. If you do not have additional case information, that's fine, but your name, the name of the petitioner and the name of the respondent is enough for the courts to look up the information on their docket. Down to the third question, are there now or have there ever been any civil, criminal, or divorce proceedings involving you or one of the protected persons and or the respondent? So if you know any information about criminal history, particularly pertaining to any prior domestic violence charges and where you were the victim, you'll list the type of case, which would be domestic violence, the state and county, which would be Sangamon County, Illinois, and case information if you know it. If you do not have this information, don't worry, the courts can get it. And down to the fourth box, you'll mark all of the necessary boxes that apply to you. So if you reside here, you'll mark that box. If the respondent resides here, you'll mark that box. The abuse occurred here, you'll mark that box. Or if you came to Springfield or Sangamon County to get away from your abuser, the fourth box is the only box you'll need to mark. For the third page, this is where you will provide your description of the incident to the courts to notify them of what took place that brought you down to file the emergency order of protection. You always want to start by entering a date in the left-hand column, and then on the right-hand column, giving the judge a very thorough description of the incidents that took place. Once you've completed that incident sheet, you'll scroll down to the remedy section on the 4th page. This is where you will mark remedy R1, mark the first box that with respect to all protected persons, that the respondent be prohibited from committing the following acts of abuse or threats of abuse. You will mark the first box for harassment, interference with personal liberty, physical abuse, or stalking. Do not worry about any of the other options. They will not apply for this petition. Then you'll scroll down to remedy 3, which is the stay away order, and mark the first 2 boxes. On the line next to least, you'll put 500 feet as the stay away. Down on remedy B, you'll place all of the addresses that you like as a protected address. If your abuser does not know these addresses, please leave them off of the petition, as they will be served with a copy and will know those addresses if they don't already have knowledge of those addresses. You can then scroll down to Part B, next to remedy 2, and this is a remedy that gives you possession over a home or apartment. You'll mark the box next to remedy 2 and put the home address. Mark the first box if your name is the only name on the lease to the home. If both petitioner and respondent have their names on the lease, mark the second box. For remedy 10, if you're asking the courts that personal property be returned to you, mark that box and list in as much description as possible the property that you are seeking the courts to award you. Go down next to remedy B and you can mark the box that states the petitioner but not the respondent owns the property. Next, go down to remedy C if you are asking for residency to the home. You can mark the box that states respondent will be giving his clothing, personal adornments, and medication. Mark the box next to remedy 10 and the one directly right under it that states at the residence. Skip the next line that states the address and mark the next 2 boxes below that state law enforcement and respondent have the right to enter the residence to retrieve the property, but only in presence of law enforcement. If you're asking the courts to grant you possession of a pet, go down to remedy 11.5 and mark the box that states the petitioner will be granted exclusive care, custody, or control of any animal owned, possessed, leased, kept, or held by either the petitioner or the respondent. Do not worry about the remedies on page 6 or 7. They will not apply to your situation. If you know that your abuser owns any firearms and you're afraid that those firearms may be used against you, you can fill out remedy 14.5. This remedy orders that the Sheriff's Department search and remove any guns from your abuser's possession. Mark the first box next to remedy 14.5 and below check the box underneath respondent that applies to your situation. Underneath that box where it says further respondent, check any of those boxes that also apply to your situation. Underneath that, next to remedy 2, if you know the description and the location of the gun, please fill in that information so it makes it easier for the Sheriff's Department to retrieve the weapons. Do not fill out the economic remedies section of this petition. Also, do not worry about filling out any of the remedies involved in remedy 4 or remedy 17. Those are remedies that if the court wants to order, they will check those boxes. Finally, scroll down to the bottom of page 9 and enter signature of petitioner. After you have completed the petition, you can take the filled out copy down to the circuit clerk's office located on the 4th floor of the Sangamon County complex, and the clerks will assist you with filing your petition. Please note, all petitions must be fully completed, otherwise your petition will not be accepted for filing with the circuit clerk's office. If you have any further questions or need any further assistance, don't hesitate to give Sojourn a call. You can reach our legal advocate office directly at 726-5100, extension 215.